Yes, everybody, hello, welcome back to Football Talks. I'm Adam, and this is our live show this Sunday morning, going through all of the Sunday papers, all of the transfer speculation, the rumours as we enter the last 2 days of the transfer window. There is so much going on, and yesterday did not disappoint. Football on the pitch, but behind the scenes, the transfer dealings going on with so many Premier League clubs right now is absolutely off the scale. We're talking Matt Guehi to Liverpool, that bid. What's happening with Alexander Isak, Nicholas Jackson? Oh my days, what went on there? And this is why clubs say, and certain people say, that the transfer window should shut before the Premier League starts the season. Get your thoughts on that as well. Should the window close before games actually start being played? Because players' careers, I'm not saying they're at stake here, but we're going to start with a Nicholas Jackson story, of course, because that was absolutely ridiculous yesterday. So how it broke down and how it all went with Chelsea yesterday. First of all, by the way, VAR killed that Chelsea game yesterday. A King's goal should have stood. Muniz, that was not a foul, and it was a complete debacle. Just while we're mentioning the Chelsea game, because this is what leads into the transfer story and the big one regarding Nicholas Jackson. So we know that there was an agreement in place, a record loan fee agreement of 15 million quid from Bayern Munich to Chelsea for Nicholas Jackson, with an option on top of that to take the deal up towards around about 60 million, I think it was, something like that. Crazy money for Nicholas Jackson. But in flying out, and Nicholas Jackson flew out, I don't know if you heard this story, but this is where it is. So the transfer is agreed. It's done. He's on the plane. He's actually arrived in Bayern Munich. But while Chelsea were playing against Fulham yesterday, Liam Delap pulled up with a hamstring injury. And then after assessing him after the game, Chelsea have then got on the phone, contacted Bayern Munich and said, deal off. We need Nicholas Jackson because Liam Delap is going to be out for several weeks. You'd be absolutely devastated as a player, wouldn't you? This news was breaking yesterday. But Nicholas Jackson this morning, the papers will tell you, is he's staying in Bayern Munich. He's staying in Munich because he wants the transfer to happen. So the tabloids are all over this story. Obviously, it is a crazy circumstances again, really unlucky, unfortunate circumstances. I do feel sorry for Nicholas Jackson in this instance because he knows he's going to be third choice striker at Chelsea. He knows he's going to be third choice striker again when obviously Liam Delap actually returns from his injury. And Chelsea all of a sudden have just gone, no, you're not moving to Bayern Munich even now because we want to use you for the next 6 to 7 weeks while Liam Delap returns, and then we're just going to put you back on the bench. Can you imagine the mindset of that player right now and where he's at? And this is why I think he's actually just said, nope, his dummy's out the pan. He's gone. He's kicking off. He's staying in Munich. He wants, I shouldn't laugh because it's a player's career completely up in smoke right now, but the whole situation took on another spin because then we had an update from Ben Jacobs, and you're thinking, right, this has happened before, and we're not going down the realms here, down the road of the Peter Odemwingie situation. Remember that back in the day where he drove down to Portsmouth, I think it was, to make the transfer happen, and he was waiting in his car and it didn't happen, and he had to drive back and then go back to his teammates again and say, oh, you can imagine. No, it's not that extreme, I don't think. And Nicholas Jackson staying in Munich because I think his agent would have told him, look, we've agreed this deal, so let's just wait this out and try and make this happen and force the move. But Chelsea have revoked their permission for him to have a medical. And Ben Jacobs explaining this yesterday was interesting because if they do that, that is the medical. If the medical takes place, then Bayern Munich can then obviously sue Chelsea. They've agreed the deal. The medical has taken place. If the medical doesn't take place, then the deal can still be called off before any charges of or actual fees are paid to Bayern Munich for cancelling it on them as they're going through the normal protocol of a transfer happening. So the medical being refused by Chelsea is the big part in all of this. Now, Nicholas Jackson cannot move to Bayern Munich unless he has a medical, and Bayern Munich do need to give permission for the player to do that. So when Nicholas Jackson thinks that standing his ground and being over there in Munich and hoping that this deal can be forced through because of his presence there and obviously not being happy and wanting to kick up a stink, Chelsea are not really bothered right now. They have plenty of players to play anyway, and plenty of players in, but their decision is definitely going to stop Nicholas Jackson moving to Bayern Munich, because he has to have the medical for this to be rubber stamped in any way, shape or form, or even give Bayern Munich anything in this fight to try and get this loan done. So as it stands, it's off. It's completely off. And there is going to be, obviously, a big kick-off from this. And Chelsea are keeping a player that really doesn't want to be there. And the annoying thing in this is, and I said it just a moment ago, Nicholas Jackson knows right now that he is third choice when it comes to Chelsea's pecking order and the forward roles. He is going to be third choice again when Liam Delap comes back from his injury, and he's still stuck there at Chelsea not playing football. Is he going to start now? Like, Garnacho's just come in. You've got João Pedro. He's there already. You've got all of the other players that Chelsea have brought in. You'll have Cole Palmer will be back from injury soon enough as well, moving into that forward line. Where is Nicholas Jackson going to play? Even if Liam Delap is out injured, that's the question I'm asking. Obviously, if I'm Nicholas Jackson, I'm thinking right now, wow, like what's going on? Like, help me, somebody help me, please. But there's nothing that anybody can do. And saying I was saying before, Adam really cut me off. It's the lips that get me. They enter the room 5 minutes before the rest. I don't know what you're on about there, mate, but yeah, carry on, Ant. Jackson doing the right thing, in my opinion. Sit in the airport too, lad. Don't let them do it to you. Club against player again. Like, how much power does a player have in this situation? Get your comments in on this, please, everybody. Michelle says, that's so unfair. I think you're right. It should close before the kickoff for the first match to stop any of this happening, I feel, as well. It's so hard for managers to deal with the whole transfer window situation while games are actually going on. It really is. It causes so much unrest and confusion, and players wanting to know if they're making a move, players not sure if that move is going to happen, and their head's not fully on in the game, and then you're dropping points, and then you make a pressure situation decision because you're thinking, it's not working, I need to go out and buy someone desperately. And the window takes on a whole new lease of life once the season starts. It looks organised and everything's moving along nicely. Well, the summer transfer window months are going on. Then as soon as you hit August and the season starts, everything just starts to go bang, bang, bang and go crazy, because nobody expects this to actually be nobody expects this to be as bad or as good as what it is at certain clubs while the football's being played. It's like, all of a sudden you have this full pre-season, great plan, and then the first 2-3 games of the season go wrong, and you're like, oh my God, I've got to change everything now. And you go out looking at other players all of a sudden. I think that's what happens, and it is a bit of a minefield. It's awful for managers to try and manage, I think, as well. At least his contract expires soon. It's not like he's signed for another 6 years. That's harsh. Ian says, talking to somebody else, sorry. We wouldn't be able to find a keeper then, as people chatting amongst themselves in the chat. Carry on, everyone. I'm just going to get through the news while you're doing it. Please do get into the comment section and give me your thoughts on all the subjects as well. But like I said, we are building that community here as well. So if you want to have your own little debates in the chat, fire away, get on with it. We do have a poll running right now in the chat. Should the window close before the season starts? It is causing nightmares for managers and players alike. Is it time that a decision was made? This was voted out when we did this one year. Can't remember what year it was, but we did do this in the Premier League for 1 year. It wasn't too long ago, actually. I think it was within the last 5 years. The transfer window shut before the season started, and then it was voted back in because I think clubs actually felt like they had a better chance to rectify any early season problems, and it came straight back in. But I think it's one of them. If it's happening and the window is open until September 1st, everyone will say it's causing too much of a problem. If it wasn't happening and we didn't have the extra weeks of the window while the season was going on, teams would actually say, oh no, we need the window back because we need to make these little decisions here and there and things can change. So, yeah, double-edged sword, isn't it, really, with that one? Did we not try that some years ago? Yeah, shutting it down. We did, mate. We did, Andrew. I just did mention it then. Thanks for that chat, buddy. In other news as well, so that's Nicholas Jackson. Obviously, there is so much going on right now within the transfer world and what's happening. A bid went in apparently yesterday, 35 million from Liverpool to Crystal Palace for Mark Guehi. Romano was talking about this. Everyone has been talking about this. This is a fantastic signing if it happens for Liverpool. Obviously, we're expecting it to go through because Crystal Palace would be very, very silly if they didn't allow Guehi to move now, because it would mean that Guehi would then leave on a free next summer and no money at all for Crystal Palace. Glasner at the moment already at loggerheads with his ownership because of the lack of investment in his side at Crystal Palace from the summer. And after the exploits of winning the FA Cup and the Community Shield, I think he was expecting a lot more. So they're at risk here, I feel, of losing Guehi. But not only that, could they then be really threatening the position of their manager, who has worked wonders at Crystal Palace since arriving in Glasner? Obviously, Glasner has been linked with Manchester United as a potential manager if Ruben Amorim actually left. So I don't think Crystal Palace can hold out on this. They need to sell Guehi today, and they need to get money for him and bring somebody else in this weekend or tomorrow quickly. There's no way that they can turn down an offer. Now, they may feel like that is a low-ball offer from Liverpool. And get into the chat, please, everybody. Give me a mark. Give me a figure. 1 year left on his deal for Mark Guehi. How much is he worth with 2 days left of the transfer window in Crystal Palace's position and the player's position right now? Talk to me, get into the chat on this one, because I'm really intrigued to see what you all think about this, because Guehi's obviously worth a lot more. He's a lot more than a £30 million player. I think market value, he's a 60 million centre-back. I think he's a brilliant centre-back. But 2 days left of the window, Liverpool put the bid in. Guehi will go on a free if they don't make this happen. Or are they thinking, are we going to sell him in January? They're not going to get more in January. Even teams will just wait it out. It'll be even worse. They have to sell him. How much for Guehi? What do you reckon the deal is going to be done for? The price right now in this situation, talk to me. Zen says Palace won't throw away 30 mil plus. No. Real says 45 million. Stu says 45 million. Bigley says 30 million for Guehi. No more. No more than 30 million. Ah, man, you've got to be joking. He's worth a lot more than that. I understand the circumstances Liverpool may feel confident that they can get a deal out of this, but still, 35 million. Ant says they will pay about 45 to 50 million. Mr. Dassi Sandero, 50 to 60 million. United Forever, 50 million. 35 million and 10% sell-on clause is a good deal, says Bon. 50 million for Gems. Again, Steve is saying 50-50. Pete, 45. Ian, 40 to 50 million. Yeah, I mean, everyone in there is saying in and around the 40 to 50 mil mark. I sort of feel the same. I think this deal happens for 40. I think Crystal Palace have to buckle because they're going to lose the money. Obviously, they need to reinvest in this team. It's not just about the now. Obviously, they would like a centre-back in. But Glasner is going to keep Guehi for a season if they don't sell him and then have no money to spend next summer. And if it's a similar summer to this one, then they're going to lose the manager because someone else will pick him up. So Crystal Palace right now, I feel, need to sell to Liverpool just to please Glasner, because if they sell him, they can then reinvest that money in the next 2 days and bring another centre-back in hoping then that Glasner can work with that player for the future. But if Glasner knows that he's losing Guehi at the end of the season, all of the other big clubs will be hovering, and Glasner will have no reason to stay at Crystal Palace. He'll move on to bigger and better things. So if they're looking and they're not worried about the manager situation right now, then they're going to keep hold of Guehi and hopefully have a great season, Crystal Palace, but going to lose the manager. If they want to keep Glasner, they have to sell Guehi now, I feel. Get the money in, get a replacement in, so we can then plan for this season and potentially after this season as well. Because he isn't going to be a happy chappy come the end of the season. If he's losing his best centre-back for nothing and he isn't able to reinvest, that's not long-term planning in my opinion. And I think Crystal Palace have dropped a ball here with not dealing with Guehi last summer. And now they're stuck with 2 days to go. With nowhere to go, backed into a corner by Liverpool. Liverpool will get their man, I'm pretty certain they will. And Crystal Palace will have to go out and find somebody else. So, yeah, that is one that is going to be very, very interesting going forward. Do we have any Liverpool fans in the chat today? Were you a little bit excited yesterday when the news came out from Jan Agerfjordsoft of the £130 million bid that was going in for Alexander Isak? That was then quashed and said not true by other journalists. What is true right now? Now, I know as a United fan, and the situation with Jan Agerfjordsoft talking about Benjamin Sesko and United's pursuit of Benjamin Sesko, he was all over, and he put his name to Benjamin Sesko straight away. He's not a journalist, I don't think, that's going to come out and just say that for the sake of it. So I think there might be something in it. I do think that Isak will go to Liverpool, and they're about to spend, I reckon, another, well, I said the other day, it could be another 200 million that they end up spending, or I've got to spend, but I think maybe you're looking here, maybe £170 million more to spend for Liverpool, who have got a 100% record this season. We'll see today. And don't forget, later on, everybody, we've got the watch-along for the Liverpool and Arsenal game here on Football Talks. We're going to be doing that show, and then we're going to move across to FUTV after that, straight after that, in fact. So make sure that you're there for the watch-along. And then we'll be moving right over to the Manchester United news and everything that's going on in and around the club after in the evening show as well. So busy day. And what happens in between? I don't know. It could be anything today. It really could. It's going to be one of them madness days, I tell you. Anyway, Isak, Liverpool fans, do you feel like it is going to happen? Talk to me. Wanting these deals over the line. Oh, he's worrying right now. London Lion, who's a Liverpool fan, wants these deals done. I don't think you should be stressing that much, mate. I think you've got a good squad there, pal. I don't think you'll be too upset if certain deals didn't happen. I know you want to get them in. I know it's great. Now you know about potential deals happening. You want them deals to happen. It's like you get a little taste for it and then you don't want to go back. I think that's the situation Liverpool are in right now. You know you've already got enough to compete and more than compete, but just to add that little bit of more security and give you that little bit of like arrogant confidence, I would say it is, isn't it? It's an arrogant confidence when you're bringing in quality players like this. You want Guehi, you want Isak. If you bring both of them in, I think Mikel Arteta is going to be missing out again. And don't get me wrong, yeah, Arsenal have had a fantastic transfer window. They really have this season gone all in on winning the Premier League. They have to pick up the Prem or the Champions League trophy. Otherwise, Arteta, questions have to be asked. I know you're consistently up there competing, but it's a different kind of ask now for Mikel Arteta. You're talking 6 years in, and you're creeping closer and closer to nearly £1 billion spent at the football club. I think we're over 800 million. It's getting close to 800 now, isn't it, for Arsenal? So, yeah, I think when you're looking at that, I think decisions need to be made. It sounds crazy talking about Arteta's job right now, considering how consistent and how good that Arsenal team is and where they're competing. Comparing it to likes of Manchester United, for instance, right now, it just seems a million miles away. But I think it's a different level of expectation now at Arsenal, and they want to win the league. And I think Mikel Arteta will ultimately be under the spotlight at Arsenal now, and I think the pressure is on. Arsenal may actually be looking at bringing somebody else in if he doesn't win something this season. All of that will come later on in the season. The talk about Arteta, we'll see how it goes first of all. Big test for Arsenal today. Massive test for Arsenal today. If we do see Arsenal prevail today at Anfield, I think they automatically go to the favourites and top for winning the Premier League. But what it will do as well is automatically push Liverpool into sealing the deals for Isak and Guehi, I feel. I think today could be a very, very big day in the transfer window for Liverpool, on and off the pitch. Because if Liverpool don't beat Arsenal today, or lose to Arsenal, then, like I just said, I think that pushes them into making everything happen in the transfer window, and away we go. I think that is a definite, by the way. The whole Isak situation seems to be dragging on. It's worse than Corrie now. 2 more days of it to go, Ian. That's all we've got now. Glasner could go to Leverkusen. Erik ten Hag only drawn against Bremen yesterday, 3-3. Yeah, a horrible start. Still no wins for Erik ten Hag at Leverkusen. I'm not saying anymore. Never mind. James. Sorry. People talking again. Liverpool are going to make Isak look a right wally if he stays at Newcastle. I don't think he will, Garrett. I'm pretty certain he'll end up in a Liverpool shirt this summer. There's too much gone on, and I think Isak's stance and now Voltemeda coming in at Newcastle as well, and then making that signing, I feel like, I think they're pretty much preparing for life without Isak as well. They're expecting the bid. I think this time, as soon as the bid goes in, it gets accepted. Isak's on his way for his medical. It all gets done by tomorrow morning. I think, anyway. It will be the deadline day signing, the biggest deadline day signing in history. This is what it's all being made out to be. You can just see it, and this is why today's game is so good, because if Liverpool win it and then go and sign Isak and Guehi on deadline day, it'd be like, look at us. This is it. No one's taking our crown. We are here to stay. If Arsenal beat them today, then it'll be, panic. We're not that good, and we need to bring these players in quickly just so we can make sure that we're still up there later on through the season. But I fully expect Isak to be a Liverpool player. I expect Mark Guehi to be a Liverpool player. And what else are we looking at, really? Fermin Lopez to Chelsea. They could go for him. You've got the Nicholas Jackson situation that's developing, like we spoke about already. Antonov and the Manchester United situation is just an absolute joke at the moment. If you were watching me on FUTV on that one, you would have heard me talking about that. Where is Emi Martinez going to end up this season? We're just talking about that from Romano breaking that news today, that Emi Martinez talks are back on with Manchester United because Royal Antwerp have rejected a bid from Manchester United for Sen Lammens. Sen Lammens wants to go to United, but the club are not taking Man United's bid. And that bid then, if Villa and Galatasaray are coming in and bidding for Antwerp's goalkeeper Lammens, then they feel is going to create a bidding war. Therefore, not accepting United's offer. United then will be pushed into the pricing sort of market for an Emi Martinez. And why would you buy Lammens when you can get Martinez? I think is the question that everybody is asking right now. And I think this is why Manchester United are actually looking at Emi Martinez again now, because it's a similar price to what they're now being told they have to pay to get Sen Lammens. So, yep. That, I think, in the goalkeeping situation anyway. Talks from Fenerbahce all of a sudden for Ederson from Manchester City. That one has now gone on. So it was Galatasaray at first, and now formerly Jose's club, Fenerbahce, because he was sacked the other day. That was a mad one, wasn't it? Anyway, Fenerbahce now in for Ederson, and that will then trigger the ripple effect will be Donnarumma suspectedly coming into the Prem to Manchester City. Again, but everybody talks about the Donnarumma situation is scratching their head as to why Pep Guardiola would even be in for him. He's not a ball-playing goalkeeper. He isn't a goalkeeper that is going to be... Well, James Trafford is a ball-playing goalkeeper. Obviously, we've seen the mistakes he made against Spurs last week. We'll see how he gets on today again against Brighton. I think he will play for Brighton. I actually like Ortega at Manchester City. I think he's better than both Ederson and Trafford, to be honest. But look, it'd be a tough game for them today at Brighton. Brighton needing to hit back after a poor start and no wins. But Donnarumma going to Manchester City has a lot of European football pundits, particularly the French ones. I remember listening to Julien Laurent talking about Donnarumma not being a ball-playing goalkeeper. He just does not fit what Pep Guardiola needs. So, effectively, this could actually weaken Manchester City right now in bringing in Donnarumma, a player that isn't going to fit the way that Pep wants to play, that's going to be on astronomical wages as well, over 300 grand a week, reportedly. And I get it, he's just won the Champions League, he's a great goalkeeper. But you know what Pep's like? And I think there's a reason why Luis Enrique got rid of Donnarumma. He doesn't get rid of world-class players for the sake of it, Enrique. Look what he did with Manuel Ugarte in sending him to Manchester United. Doesn't fit into what they want. Now Ugarte can't fit in at Manchester United. Smart move, 50-odd million gone for PSG, and then they bring in João Neves into the midfield, as we knew as Man United fans last summer. Smart business. Why is he letting go of Donnarumma? They could offer him a bit more money and keep one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but one of the best goalkeepers in the world in shot stopping and presence, yes. But coming for crosses and ball playing, he's not that good. He isn't that good. And this is why everybody is thinking, why are Manchester City breaking the bank when they've got 3 goalkeepers already that can do a job just as good as what Donnarumma does in a Pep Guardiola system? Look, shot stopping and everything like that is unbeatable. Fantastic. But there's so much more to Pep Guardiola's teams and games that you actually look at it and start to scratch your head like, why? Why would you do this? But yeah, well, that's up to them. And of course, looking at it right now, you would have to say, waste of money. It sounds crazy, doesn't it, buying him like that? At the moment, waste of money for Donnarumma sounds like a ridiculous shout, but he just doesn't fit, I don't think. Graham's just dropped in with a super chat. Thank you, Graham, you absolute legend of a man. If the Premier League reduced its members to 18, the window could close before the start of the season, but the Turkeys will not vote for Christmas, if you catch my drift. Yeah, I know. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because there's too much money in there, is what Graham is saying. 100%. There's no way. There's no way. The TV right, everything like that, revenues, yeah, no. No, never going to happen. Never going to happen anymore. City, Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal are buying everyone. They're trying to buy the title. Look, it's been proven over years now. Unless you're willing to pay hundreds of millions for certain players, you are not going to compete. And that, I think, is the biggest thing here in this. You are not going to compete if you haven't spent. Spurs are a prime example. All facilities, fantastically well-run club. Wage structure in place that keeps them financially stable for years and years to come. But look, if you want to win trophies and the biggest trophies, you have to do what Chelsea have done, what City, what Liverpool, what Arsenal are doing right now, spending hundreds and hundreds of millions, 200 to 300 million at least every single summer if you want to compete and challenge for the biggest trophies. It's just the way the Premier League is, and it's the way that it's always going to be going forward. You're not going to get any of the big trophies, in England in particular, definitely in the Premier League, unless you have spent a small fortune. And the case in point is Liverpool, is Arsenal. Well, you could argue Liverpool didn't spend anything last summer, but they had a really good team. But look at them now, just trying to hold it. They've spent two transfer windows worth in one window this summer because they didn't spend anything last summer. And it's worked out well for them. I do think they got a little bit lucky in last season in the fact that teams dropped off and everybody stayed fit and it all worked out well for Slot. And credit to them still. They won the bleeding league, for God's sake, I know. But this summer, I think they know that teams are going to try and improve a lot more, and they've just kept ahead of everybody in this transfer window and had the opportunity to do so because they're winning trophies and their players are actually valuable. If your players are winning things, they're always more valuable than players that are at a club that are not winning anything. And that is the case proven in Manchester United's case with Garnacho. And you look at him, but Madueke went for more because Chelsea are winning things. You get what I mean? It's the total difference. It's mad how the transfer window works. What player values are, what the market value is, how they judge the market value on players. It's ludicrous. But look, I think just to go over the whole transfer window side of things again, I don't think clubs will ever vote out the window shutting on September 1st. I think there are real deals to be done, and I think a lot of clubs can make a lot of money and survive off deadline day and the last weeks of the windows. I think clubs actually need it in the season. That's what we're saying. It's an awkward one. I get it. I understand it for both sides of the argument with clubs that want it to end before the season starts and then want it to carry on. It will always carry on. Why? Because it makes more money and it's better for TV and broadcasters and everybody involved in it. It adds to the excitement. Every single manager out there at any club right now cannot wait for tomorrow at 7 o'clock when that window closes. They hate it. And tell you what, there'll be a lot of managers sat having a break, probably go and have a little bit of a break away for a few days from the start of the season while international break's going on. And I think it's going to be a mad one this last couple of days. So we'll have it covered. Don't forget, if you haven't been tuned into the earlier shows on FUTV today or on Football Talks early in the week, tomorrow is deadline day and we will be doing a deadline day bonanza. It's a show that's going to be running out pretty much through the day. We're expecting a minimum 3 live shows here on Football Talks as well as FUTV as well, bringing you all of the updates on every single deal that goes down. Courtesy of Match Bingo, our sponsors as well. You can see this on the screen there. Scan the QR code. We're going to be running that today for the Liverpool-Arsenal game later on, so stay tuned for that. So today, we have the watch-along starting at 4 here on Football Talks. Then we're moving across to FUTV. There may be other shows in between. We don't know yet. So let's just see what happens, and let's see how this now goes down. But it is going to be a very, very busy couple of days. Please give this video a like, everybody. That should take us over 100 likes for this show. Thank you very much, everybody, for being part of it again. Those are your main headlines going into the rest of today. What happens from here, we will have to wait and see. But one thing is guaranteed. It is going to be busy. It is going to be frenetic. I've got you covered here on Football Talks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, mods. Everyone who liked the video. Everyone who's part of it in the comment section. I love that. Please do tune in later on for the watch along. I will see you then. But before then, have a good day and enjoy. And be ready for that blockbuster, which is coming tomorrow. Might even come today. See you later, everyone.